What's up everyone, here is AhkTaar, welcome back on my YouTube channel. So I finally was able to reach some crowns here, but I can't finish everything, and I want to talk about my thoughts after the buff we had, because for those who doesn't know, they buffed this content, the buff we had on our hero, and also the turn limitation. So before Friday, here we had to clear this stage in less than 100 turns. Now it has been increased to 150, so it's achievable if we have the right heroes and if we have enough stats on our heroes, but it's still pretty tough though. Here they also buffed the buff number 4 here from 60% bonus to 75%, and the effect hit from 100 to 120%. This is not enough. I mean, there are some ways to use other heroes from the faction, and as you can see here, this is the team I used, and we can try to beat this content with this kind of team because I have all the broken heroes. They designed the buffs here, this content in order to prevent us to use the broken heroes such as Hezonja. This is what they told to us. They didn't want us to use Hezonja, but here, in fact, I'm using Hezonja. You know why? Because I nerfed the mastery on my heroes to increase their amount of effect hit, and this is working. This is working because here, as you can see on my Queenland now, I have only 87% mastery, but I have 152% effect hit with the gear. I have also the emblems, more effect hit with this one at the beginning of the wave, so it helps a lot. This one is taken into account on the base stats right here. And also I have this aura to increase his max effect hit during the fight plus 12%. So during the fight, in fact, at the beginning he has 164%. And then I'm using Verto, so at the beginning of the fight, my Queen Anne has also 22% more effect hit. And then when my Verto increase my attack by 40%, I get a 44% effect hit bonus instead of 22%. So in fact, my Queen Anne has 200 and something like this, around 200% effect hit during the fight. So I can still use my HP burnings, my freeze, and etc. And same for my Hezonja. Here I have 131%. Using the aura here, I have 143%, and thanks to my Verto, I have 150%, 53%, 55%, and if I have the attack buff, I have 177%, something like this. So I can still apply my debuffs, okay? So the design of these dungeons are really bad in my opinion, because one more time, you can use Hezonja and Queenland. You don't want us to use them, so change this here. Help us put this buff in the first or the second or at least the third position here, and maybe just nerf the HP burning damage to 80% less damage, HP burning damage on the enemies. This is the way to nerf HP burning damage such as Hezonja. But here the fact is we can't use our other heroes. If you want to use a direct damage hero here, you need to lower the defense of enemies and the tenacity of enemies, or maybe you want to use the new hero Villet here. But if you want to use them, you need effect hit, but here you can't get enough effect hit. So it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And Verto here is great, but he is gonna work for the Soul Harbor Guards here because this is the faction, so I'm gonna get more defense on my heroes and maybe more crit damage, something like this. But he is not working on other content. So what is the point? Or maybe just increase here in the defense and the attack. if you increase our attack here on the first positions, maybe we can use our direct damage heroes. Or maybe increase the effect hit of heroes without HP burnings. I don't know, there are some ways, there are many ways to deal with that, okay? Because at the moment, let me run the fight. I'm just gonna put Zonja here. We are gonna compare with a full faction team and with this kind of team, in order to see what works, what is working. So here, as you can see, okay, beginning of the fights, all enemies have an HP burning on them. Let's try to freeze. Almost everybody is frozen. And I don't have the effect hit buff on my heroes. Here, okay, I have a lot of effect hit on my Nicholas, so it still works. Here, I'm gonna increase my effect hit even more. So I have to tank one attack. And then I'm gonna keep my skills because I want to get the cooldowns back for the next wave, but let's just buff my heroes. Let's put an extra HP burning to here. Okay, didn't work. Lower the crit rate. And enemies are dying. Place to the boss fight. I don't have my buffs and this is bad. So let's try to freeze them. Okay, both are frozen. So I'm gonna have to tank the attack, but I have the apple, so it should be fine. Let's try to lower the crit rate of the boss. Okay, doesn't proc. Didn't proc. Okay, so I lost the apple on my Quinlan and my Nicholas, but you know what? It should still do the job. So let's increase my speed, let's increase my effect hits, inflict more HP burning on him, and trigger the HP burnings. I'm gonna lose my Quinlan. Okay, so I'm gonna have only two stars. Only one star. But still, the goal here was to show that it was working with this kind of team. If I am careful during my run, probably I can do better than that. Let's buff again, and okay. It's over. Now I can put the run in auto, it's gonna work. Okay, but I don't want to start the next one in auto, so okay, now let's compare with a full faction team, okay? So now I have a lot of buffs on my heroes, as you can see here, all the buffs coming from the faction bond here. Look at the crit damage of my Sigmund, effect hit, mastery here. The stats are crazy, a lot of defense and also damage. What? Wait, what? Here, it is supposed to be 120% and here 75%, okay? I don't know if everything was applied here. I'm not sure about that, so let's buff my heroes and we are gonna see if it works or not. Let's try to stun Shia first with my Christian. Okay, it didn't work. Stun. Perfect. Increase my effect hit. They stun my only DPS, so I'm losing turns. Already losing turns. This is pretty bad. Try to stun, didn't work. Lower crit rate. AoE HP burnings, an extra HP burning on her because I want to kill her before she kills me. Try to stun. You know what? You know what? Let's try to stun this one. Huge damage coming from Sigmund thanks to the faction bonus. Now I want to focus Capello because he can heal himself if I'm not mistaken. But it's taking a lot of turns. If my Sigmund was exclusive 2, it could be better. Or if they decided to target my Sigmund, he could counterattack and apply more HP burnings on them. Because at the moment it's just burning turns. And he healed himself. This is terrible. Look at the number of turns. Why? Tell me why. Should we try to use a full faction team here if it is worse than what you want to prevent us to use? Okay, so second wave. Maybe I have to increase the speed on my Sigmund though, so I could be able to inflict more HP burnings. So let's try to stun this one, otherwise he's gonna be annoying. Now I have some counter attacks. But this team is working though. And I was close to get 3 crowns using this team. But here, on this fight, apparently I'm not lucky enough to put a lot of HP burnings on them. Okay, here I was lucky, they all focused my Sigmund, and that was pretty nice. Now normally they should die fast normally. Let's try to stun. Perfect. It worked. Okay, last wave. Okay, 45 turns only to finish this wave. So let's try to focus the boss first. Okay, 2 counterattacks. I don't want to try to stun them for now. If they can target my Sigmund, it's great. So let's hope they target my Sigmund. Okay, counterattacks, perfect. Five HP burnings on the boss. Let's control her. So now let's just buff myself so I can tank this attack. Shia is gonna die with the HP burning she has. And it's over. 163 turns. 64. So yeah, this team is working a bit better than the previous one. I haven't been lucky on the first wave, but yeah, I mean, why should we try to use this kind of teams? This is not the way they wanted us to go. They wanted us to, yeah, they wanted us to use this kind of things right here, okay? But in fact, we can bypass it if we increase the effect hit of our best heroes, Helanja, etc. And they didn't want us to use this kind of team. And this is why I'm a bit mad about that, because they want to do some things, but they do it bad. They do it bad. This is the word. They are doing it bad. Tell me what you think about it in the comment below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If it's the case, as usual, please like, comment and subscribe, and then see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Infinite Magicraid. Play to slay.